Good Monday morning, boys and girls. This is our second to last week of school, and I'm so glad we've worked so hard this year. So you should notice that your math lessons are getting a little bit easier as we go through them. I'm going to give you some practice numbers to write today as we get started and keep those thinking skills sharp. You're going to need to be on page 305, 306, page 305, 306. If you have a piece of notebook paper, you can use that. Or sometimes I have my students just write around the edges of their paper so they can write those little numbers there. You can turn it sideways and do some practice numbers, squeeze them in on the side. Okay, here are some numbers for you to write. 76,921. Think through all those place values. 76,921. Here's your next one. 301,240. 301,240. And 610 million. 610 million. Let's check those three answers before we go on to the next one. 76,921 is 76,921. 301,240 is 301,240. 610 million is 610, 000, 000. It's a lot of place holding there. Okay, let's do the next three. 48,800. 48,800. 638,294. 638,294. And 559,200,021. This was a little bit tricky. 559,200,021. Let's go ahead and check those three now. 48,800 is 48,800. 638,294 is 638,294. And here's the last one. 559,200,021 is 559,200,021. Now that we've done some warm-up today, let's jump into our math paper. So get those pencils ready to go. Your thinking cap is on as you read this story problem with me. Jacob and Elijah each have 32 marbles. Luke has 1/4 as many as both of them. How many do the three boys have all together? Okay, so let's see. Jacob and Elijah each have 32 marbles. So we know Jacob has 32 and Elijah has 32. We don't know how many Luke has. That's what we need to find the answer to. We know he has this 1/4 as many as both of them. Well, this word both tells us that we need to add theirs together. Now, the shorter way of adding is multiplication. So whether you add or multiply, it's a fast problem today. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. They have a total of 64. You could also double that number in your mind, and you might have added it very quickly. Now, here's one of those things that my mom would have said, I want you to think, is there another way that you could have solved this? Well, if I know that he has 1/4 as many as both of them, then I know that he would have half of theirs. So let's see if that answer works out today as we work on it. So now we need 1/4 of 64. 1/4 of 64. Well, this is where we go ahead and we divide. So we would need to think, 64 divided by 4. Now this is a little bit larger than one we've done before, so you can do it in your mind or you can work it out. I can do 6 divided by 4 equals 1, and then that gives me 2 left over. 6 minus 4 is 2. 24. 24 divided by 4 is 6. If you need to write it out like this to help you, go ahead and do that. 4 goes into 6 how many times? 6 divided by 4 is 1. 1 times 4 is 4. You could subtract, do 24. And then again, that's 6 times 4 is 24. So we know that that one works out. Now again, if he had 1/4 as many as both of them, that would mean he would have about 1/2 of theirs. So is half of 32 16? It is. That's another way of thinking about it. So you might have been thinking that in your mind, and that is a good way to figure it out if you know they both have the same amount, because you were thinking ahead on those fractions. So now we have to find out how many they have all together. Now we know how many Luke has. Luke has 16. How many of the boys have all together? Well, we're going to add those numbers up. Now we could go back and do 32 plus 32 plus 16, or we could say we've already found 32 plus 32 is 64, and do 64 plus 16. Carry our 1 and up to the tens column, and that gives us 8. So for a total of 80 marbles. Making sure we add that descriptor in there so that we don't lose it. Okay, now let's see if that makes sense. So we know Jacob has 32, Elijah has 32. We knew Luke was going to have less than they did. And let's see, 32, 32, 16, 80 would make sense as our answer. We always want to look at it again and think, would this make sense? Mr. Wheeler drove 30 miles on Monday, twice as far on Tuesday, and 3 times as far on Wednesday as on Monday. How many miles did he drive on those 3 days? Now, I like doing story problems like this, and I just get my numbers bigger and bigger and bigger. That's a lot of fun, but boy, he must have been tired after doing all of that driving. I wonder if he is a truck driver. Well, let's go ahead and solve. So we have 30 miles on Monday, twice as far on Tuesday. So we know Monday is 30. So now Tuesday is twice as far as Monday. So that means 30 times 2. So that gives us 60. Again, you could have doubled that number. So we know he did 60 on Tuesday. Now we have to find out Wednesday. 3 times as far on Wednesday as he did on Monday. So again, we're still using that 30 because he tripled it from Monday. 30 times 3. Or you could add it 3 times. A simple way to do that, because we have the zeros there, is do 3 times 3 is 9 and add your 0 in. So we know that he has now done 30 miles on Monday, 60 miles on Tuesday, and 90 miles on Wednesday. How many miles did he drive on these 3 days? So now it's time to, you're right, add them all up. 30, 60, and 90. We have zeros there, and I bet you're fast at adding the second column for a total of 18. So 180 miles. And always remembering that we add our descriptor in. Okay, you have a picture of the Hubble telescope today. It'd be interesting if you could find something to tell your classmates as you get on Zoom this week. Something about you found out about space, the Hubble telescope, or maybe using those stars on the back of your page, maybe you made your own schematic for stars and you drew your own picture. So maybe if you could name a constellation, you would make your own. I would be interested to see that. In the back of our page today, we have the bear. Number 2, find the averages and then circle the answers. Find the averages and circle the answers. So these ones are already written nicely for us in our column, so we can simply go down through and add them up. And you're working on getting those in your mind. You found a quick combination here. The 4 and the 1 is a 5. And this right here makes 10. And then you had 15 up here. So it's a fast answer for 25. See if you can find a group of 10 in here. Found one here. And we've got that answer. 285 being our total. Now we're not finished yet. 285. And we have to divide that by our numbers, our total numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Divide by 5, find the average between them. 28 divided by 5 is 5. 5 times 5 is 25. Again, if you're having a hard time lining your numbers up, it might help to put that lined paper behind your math paper so you can see those lines through it. We'll subtract. 8 minus 5 is 3. 2 minus 2 is 0. We compare. 5 cannot go into 3. We bring down the 5. We have 35 now. 35 divided by 5 is 7. 7 times 5 is 35. We subtract, left with 0. Compare, nothing left to bring down. That means all we need to do is circle our answer for 57. Now I'm going to let you go ahead and work B on your own so that you can finish that. I'm going to erase the board, and while you're working on B, I bet you can be finished by the time I'm ready for number 3. So you ready to race? On your mark, get set, go. Whew. Okay, if you were a fast adder and fast divider, you might have had that answer already, which would have been 7. Okay, let's check number 3. Write the product and check your work. Again, we're multiplying 2-digit number by a 2-digit number. And when we're multiplying, we have to make sure that we are fair and we share. So again, starting in our ones place, 2 times 9 is 18. Write 8, carry the 1. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. I'm going to cross off this number because I've already used it. Put my 0 in because I'm not using the ones place right now. I'm going to the tens place. 6 times 9 is 54. Write 4, carry the 5. See, it's a good thing we crossed that one off. 6 times 4 is 24, plus the 5 is 29. Okay, add them together. 8 plus 0 is 8. 13, carry the 1. 10, carry the 1. And 3, add your comma in for 3,038. Now it says we have to check our work. So how do we check multiplication? Well, the opposite of multiplication is division. So it's time to set up our division problem. 3,038 divided by, what would we divide by? Well, we could go back and we could divide by one of those and we could get the other one. That would work. But did you know there's another way to check multiplication? I think you're going to like this one. This one we just get to switch. Sounds like a lot easier, doesn't it? We're going to do that today. This is the shortcut. This is what I like when our problems get a little bit bigger. There are more ways to check our work than just one way. So we're just going to move them around. See if we get the same answer. Are you ready to write? There you go, just like that. 62 multiplied by 49. Now we just multiply again, starting at the bottom. 9 times 2, 18. Write 8, carry the 1. 9 times 6 is 54. Put up 1 and we've got 55. And then we go to the second row. Put a 0 here. 4 times 2 is 8. 6 times 4 is 24. Let's add these ones up, see if we get the same answer. 8, 13, carry my 1, 9, 10, 0, 1. Add that one in, and it matches. Now, isn't that so much easier than doing another division problem? See, we can switch it, and it will help us out as we check our work. Now, we're going to go over to number 4 and solve and check the equation. We've done these equations before, and this one has the parentheses in it, so you know the parentheses says, do me first. He likes to cheer today, do me first. A good reminder for us. So go ahead and put in 5 minus 4. We know that one. That's 1 times 3. And then we have n plus 3 on this side. Now remember, we solve for the side that we know. So I always put my equals in first. It helps me keep it neat. 1 times 3 is 3. And then I have n plus 3 on this side. Now I have to figure out how to get rid of this 3. So since it's a plus 3, I'm going to minus 3 and cancel it out. And what I do to one side, I do to the other side. So minus 3 and minus 3. Well, that leaves me with n equals 0. Let's check. Can this be right? So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to add it in. Now I always like to rewrite my problem over, so I copy carefully. So n plus 3 equals parenthesis 5 minus 4 times 3. I'm going to put my 0 in now. 0 plus 3 equals 5 minus 4 times 3. 0 plus 3 equals 3. 5 minus 4 equals 1 times 3. 3 equals 3. Look at that, it checked. Now, as you were working, you might have been able to skip one of these and do it in your mind. If you had done 5 minus 4, thought 1 times 3, you could skip writing that step, but it helps to see each part as we write it all out one step at a time so we don't catch ourselves up. Well, I think you're going to do a great job on the back. You see on the back, all you need is your ruler, and you just need to make sure you use the centimeter side. You can do the centimeter side as you find your perimeter today, and then you've got some simple review problems. So make sure you check your work carefully on tomorrow's lesson so that you know you have the right answers, and have a great rest of the day, boys and girls, and I will see you next time.